But at the end of the day, the system got better. So we should be happy about that, you know?
Yeah,
I think.
I'm glad it did.
Hey, Daisy.
Hello. Just want to call and see what you thought about all that.
I think that you did something many officers, regardless of position, are afraid to do. And that is speak from a position of honesty and openness. And I think in that courtroom, you garnered a lot of respect for what you did. And I know that because I was sitting on the other side and you could audibly tell that you shocked the room. And
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna lie. He asked why I dropped the charges, and I was like, well, I did it for A through Z.
Yep, 100%.
Like, I wish that I wish I had gotten, I forgot to say it, but I wish I could have said, you know, I dropped him because that guy was a fucking moron.
I love this place.
Yeah, I was surprised at the, like, I thought Robin was gonna, I asked him afterwards, why didn't he ask, is he still employed? Right? Because
I did ask, they asked if he was employed, and I said no. That was one of the first things they asked.
Oh, I must have said.
And they asked why, and I said, because he quit. And they asked, do you know why he quit? And I was like, I mean, I can assume, like, I'm pretty sure I know why. And then they objected on speculation. Like,
Yeah.
I am fairly certain he quit because I dropped the murder charges. Because when I told him I dropped the murder charges, he basically told me to fuck off and that he quit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think that was really good. The ruling is one that I'm very 50-50 on. So the good faith exception is not something that I've ever seen applied until a bench trial with the same judge, in which Mr. K, similar thing happened where there was like a warrant. The warrant ended up getting thrown out, but the good faith exception made everything that transpired after it valid. I actually agree with the good faith exception. My general concerns about it is its applicability in Los Santos.
I do think that in this case, like in this situation, so I could have very easily dropped all the charges. I decided to continue with the 15 times attempted murder because I did feel that officers, all officers that responded to that, especially the officers that responded, you know, in response to the 78's call to officers literally being shot, that they were acting in good faith.
Absolutely.
Also, the fact that they didn't even try to apprehend, like they didn't say like, I'm gonna arrest you. Like they literally just opened fire when officers got close.
Oh, shit.
So that is why I felt comfortable pushing those charges. If Dominic Rhodes had walked up on the block, I'm on the phone, Bobby. If Dominic Rhodes had walked up on their block and said, okay, it's time to arrest you now, and then all of that had happened, I would feel less confident in it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they literally didn't give officers a choice. They just opened fire. So, you know, officers had to respond accordingly.
That makes sense. I thought it was a really good trial, to be honest. Even my hesitation on the good faith exception is more like the overarching, where else could it be used? It's the unknown that I think.
And I think you need to take into account that there was a raid conducted, like based on the warrant, and he threw that out. He threw
Very
out
true.
the charges that were related to the raid.
Yeah,
So,
that definitely set me at ease significantly.
and I expected him to do that.
Yeah. Things have been good outside of that. All the legislation passed except for the one that was a scuffed ballot.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like when I saw the announcement this morning and it said that that one didn't pass, I was like, out of all of them, that
Yep.
one seemed like the one that would have
Yep,
passed.
exactly. There wasn't any complaints I got. It's very thorough. We spent the most amount of time on it, but I knew something was up because I'm like, why did it only get like under 200 votes? But I think it's going to easily pass this time because I think the fervor for no's isn't there. But the thing that does catch my attention is
At ease, Bobby.
before it, the thing's scuffed, it was 95-107. And when I use like, think about it from like a statistic perspective, like the spike in no votes and how many people voted, 107 is an insane amount of no's for something as clear cut as it is. So that kind of speaks into the psyche of the politics of it, is that you want to package legislation where you don't want to package too much together, because if it's too spicy, people are going to either mass yes or mass no. And unlikely there's going to be any people like, you know, picking that each one apart. But,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that makes sense.
K9 passed as well. The Hank
I
Egg.
saw that. I
Yep.
saw that. That's exciting.
Um,
Um,
I am going to, Grayson sent me some notes. So I think what I'm going to be doing is this next week, as we get what I call the Los Santos Early Access Program that gets
Yes.
representatives from different circles, including LSPD, together. It's going to allow, I think the first action is going to be, let's do a legislative review of what we got and what lines might be in contention. And that way, to make that legislation a little bit tighter, clear up language in advance is probably a good exercise. And then we'll focus on new laws that everyone can kind of see. Because directing people at the city hall is just not the move. No one's going to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
And
Gosh, there was some legislation I was gonna ask you about, but I can't remember now. I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
okay.
But no, I think things are going really well. We made a lot of changes to command, and like, yeah, we have still doomers. We still have people that are, upset or whatever.
Mm.
But Peters and I were talking about it, and I don't know, maybe it's because we're just trying to be positive and looking at things through rose-colored glasses, maybe. But it it feels better.
It is.
Like it feels better. Like people seem like they're enjoying their time on duty. They're having fun. They're being silly,
Yeah.
It feels like there there isn't this like weight of pressure on them.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see.
I do believe that a lot of the doom bled out the BCSO, just straight up. And
Yeah.
I've run into a lot of LSPD offices, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm talking to people that happen to be cops, as opposed to getting undressed to see if I got a gun on me.
Yeah. I think yeah, I don't know. I just think that like people are a little bit more at ease now, I think Peters and I have really tried to be like transparent about things and be like
Yeah.
communicative,
Yeah.
and people are responding to it.
Mm-hmm.
We also like the numbers have been really good, and like we've been able to respond to like multiple calls at once. Like there was a shootout happening today, a big shootout by like the barrio, and in addition to that, we had like full units at a laundromat, and everything went fine. Like we got multiple suspects, and I don't know, people are just
Mm.
they seem like they're doing all right. Um and I think today was like one of the first days where Peters and I this morning were like, what do we do? We don't have any meetings. Like we we've been too efficient. We've done it. Like we've done what we've needed to do so far. So we just like went and patrolled, and just got to like chit chat with people, and
Mm.
it was good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
I'm really
obviously,
excited.
we still got a lot left. We're still working on stuff, but it's definitely, I don't know. It's again, maybe I'm just being extremely optimistic, but it feels better.
That's that's the right mentality. I mean, even what I've been telling my cabinet is a lot of people were exhausted and like depressed from what happened, right? Especially with a lot of the allegations that were thrown our way as to why did we push so much, like all the negative stuff and the unknowing of like what the vote would be, right? Some of these guys, they're fairly new in the city, right? So I can understand it. But what I've told them, especially after this vote, is we got to look at the bright side. We, I think, sent a message to the DOJ. We now have 24 hours before things go set up. That's a huge win. I
That's
will
good.
gladly take everything to vote. That 24 hours is all we really wanted. And it also showed that we were able to garner the support and bring the people down to the ballot. I mean,
That's
we
great.
literally got taxes passed it in Los Santos.
That's
That
what
is
I was
cracked.
shocked about, that the taxes passed, but the business didn't. I was like, so we
Yeah.
can tax businesses, but we don't actually have businesses to
Yeah.
tax.
It's
I thought that was
4%.
crazy.
We only won that by four votes. Now, with that said, I'm gonna go back. Actually, let me take a look at the number. It was Stab was 155 yes, 151 no. And given that there is enough no's on that, I'm actually going to go and probably reduce the taxes across the board.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. So I think
I think that's a very smart move.
yeah, I think it's going to be dropped down to maybe, I think like something like $10,000 for the food stalls and like 5% across the board.
Okay, right?
Because if people don't want to push that much, then fuck it. We'll bring it down. Like, the votes actually give me some concrete feedback as to what isn't like, which is the nice thing about me splitting everything up, right? So if I put the taxes under the business, then we wouldn't really know, is the problem with the business or is it the problem with the tax? But this actually gives me that feedback. So
Good.
yeah. And
I think it's great. Good day overall.
Yeah. I think so too. All right. Well,
I'm gonna head to sleep.
Okay.
It was good talking to you. Thank you for
Yep.
coming to that court case. I appreciate seeing you there.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Just holler if you need anything, all right?
Will do. All right, Daisy.
Okay.
You take
All
care.
right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
I will not